Sahaviryam karavavai yajasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, now please read verse number 18 and 28 onwards, or 18 and 28. Asamaderavikshepat namumukshurna cetara nischitya kalpitam pasyanne brahmaivaste mahasaya yasyantasyatahankara na karoti karoti sah nirahankara dhirena na kinchita krutam krutam nodvignam nacha santushtam akartru sangspandavarjitam nirasam gata sandeham chittam muktasya rajate nirdhyatum cheshtitum vapi yachittam na pravartate nirnimitamidam kintu nirdhyayati vicheshtate nirdhyatum cheshtitum vapi yachittam na pravartate nirnimittam idam kintu nirdharyeti vicheshtate. As you have been seeing, these verses are as incomparable as the truth itself is. Truth is incomparable. There is nothing to compare it with. Who you are, incomparable. What you have comes under the realm of comparison and contrast. That is why, as long as in your life you take what you have to be who you are, that long you can never ever escape indignity, misery, insecurity, pain, unhappiness, because the realm of comparison is full of ups and downs, right and wrong, good and bad, vice and virtue, high and low, loss and gain, victory and defeat, because it all depends. Ask yourself, it always depends. Who is the last word? What is the best health? Who is the richest? It's comparison, comparison, comparison. Rich, richer, richest, there is a comparison. Poor, poorer, poorest, there is a comparison. Rich can be poor, poor can be rich, depends on the circumstances. In a village where nobody has any money, person who has a half an acre of land is a big boy. With 5 acres of land is a landlord. In big cities where people have millions and millions and billions, Even a millionaire is feeling poor, impoverished. So ask yourself, where do you want to stay? Do you want to be in the realm of the incomparable, which is in and through everything? Because who you are is incomparable. That is why it doesn't make you an exclusive entity who alone is incomparable. No. As much I am incomparable, that much everyone else is incomparable. As much I am rich, that much everybody is rich. Impossible. You cannot say that. As much I am poor, that much everybody is poor. You cannot say that. But as much I am the happiness, not happy, as much I am the happiness, that much everybody is the happiness. As much I am immortal, that much everybody is immortal. As imperishable I am, that imperishable everybody is. Who I am, who you are, who everybody is, one and the same. That is why there is no comparison, no contrast. Makes it so beautiful, and that is the genuine dignity, that is the genuine respect one can earn for one's own self, which cannot be diminished, listen carefully, which cannot be diminished by other people's disrespect, non-recognition, non-acknowledgement. It makes no difference. Like somebody gives a beautiful example. You stand in front of the huge Niagara Fall and you spit at it. How much it will be affected? By spitting at the Niagara Fall, do you take away the majesty of the Niagara Fall? Oh, this is a stupid little thing. The Niagara Fall. You cannot take away the majesty of it. You cannot take away the majesty of the ocean by throwing a stone at it. And when you understand the majesty of your being as to who I am, all pervasive, aham vrukshasya reriva, kirti pushtham gireriva, that is the declaration of this Upanishads. Aham vrukshasya reriva. Aham, I, vrukshasya, samsara vrukshasya reriva palaita. I am the one who sustains this macrocosmic, gross, subtle, causal universe. Just not a tiny physical body, just not a tiny thought. The whole macrocosmic universe, the entire time and space dimension exists in me. It's not a poetry, it's not an imagination, it's not a positive thinking, it's not some type of a deluding thought, but a statement of absolute fact, incontrovertible, unnegatable, which nobody can take away from you. And you cannot take away that dimension from anybody either. It makes it so beautiful. So that is the real gift you can give to yourself, which is already packed up as though to be unpacked by the teaching. Somebody phoned me up, Swamiji, I want a gift in Diwali. It's a real thing. Where the person wants something, Swamiji, can I have a gift? I said, I am so much dying for a gift, nobody to give me a gift. I said, don't worry, all right. You have received the best gift which is already yours. As a child, as a person to live with, okay, give a gift of a laddu or a sweet or a chocolate or a dress or something. That's okay. But your satisfaction doesn't depend upon that. The greatest gift you can give unto yourself is self-respect, total dignity, happiness, contentment, fulfillment, which nobody can take away from you. Understand? Only a self-respecting person who respects himself for who he is A self-loving person who loves himself for who he is shall love everybody for who they are and shall respect everybody for who they are. You shall not look down upon anybody. That is why, whether it is a story or it is a fact, when the Chandala, the one who is supposed to be dealing with only leather and, burning the dead bodies and all that stuff, they're supposed to be the lowest rung of... That's a nonsense. I don't want to use that word, because how can a profession, a job, make somebody a lowest rung? He is infinity, engaged in a finite activity. And what is that finite activity? And what is that activity which is not finite? Just think of it. This whole system of high caste, low caste, higher people, lower people, celebrities, ordinary, it is so meaningless. Do you understand the beauty of it? As long as you stay in that realm of comparison, celebrity, non-celebrity, VIP, non-VIPs, that's a waste. You are as important as you feel. You are as dignified as you feel. When you have that self-respect, knowing me is myself, who I am, which has absolutely no limits of any kind. Only if you look through the prism, you shall see the colors of the light. And the colors are all limited. If it is brown, it is not green. If it is green, it is not yellow. If it is yellow, it is not red. But in white light, every color is potential. Looking through the prism of your mind, prism of the sense organs, prism of the riches, knowledge, information, wealth, so many different types of divisions are visible as though. But in reality, before you compare yourself with other person for what they have, if you know who you are, you shall recognize even that other person also, while looking through his riches or poverty, achievements or failure, the person is same, absolute, infinity, infallible. Shankara committed as though that mistake by asking him, go, go, go. And what did that person say? He challenged him. What do you consider yourself very wise? Kim bruhi gacha gacheti. What are you telling? Go, go, go. Who shall go from what? Annamayat annavayam. My body is made out of food, your body is made out of food. Shall the modifications of food move away from the modifications of food? There is no reason. There is no touchability or untouchability. Athava chaitanyeva chaitanya duri kartum vanchasi. Or do you desire, do you intend that the chaitanyeva chaitanya duri kartum, the consciousness must move away from the consciousness, the absolute must move from the absolute? Absolute cannot move away from the absolute. The relative need not move away from the relative. What is untouchability? What is the low and high? You see that for yourself. So nobody can take away the majesty of your being as to who you are. You want to give a gift to yourself, that is the greatest gift, the best gift already with us. Other gifts are not with us, they give it to us. Education was not with us. Riches, the land was not with me, maybe somebody gave it or I purchased it. A building was not there, I built it. But this is something which you don't have to build, don't have to create. This is something already with ourselves, even before we are aware of it. What a beauty! That is why a person who knows this reality for himself, for him, There is absolutely no reason, but nirahankar dhirena nakinchit akrutam krutam. Yasya, yasyantasyat ahankara. These particular verses, I hope, they are just not only listening and going away. After going back, do you see these very, very clearly? When you are all by yourself, ask yourself, you are all by yourself, are you troubled, miserable, conflict-ridden, restless, listless, excited to be dumped the next moment? Ask yourself. Are you on a roller coaster ride, helplessly pushed up and down? Or you are a roller coaster ride choosing to go up and down? Mahadeva, Mahadeva, if you understand. Because nobody should tell us, you should not go up and down. Why should I not go up and down? You don't call somebody free and then set some conditions. You are free to do whatever you like. But, what is that but? You can't set conditions. Freedom is unconditional, unconditional. Now, listen carefully, if nobody should set conditions for you, you don't like it, should you set a condition for yourself? That person should not set any condition, or else I will be miserable. Wonderful. That means you are not free. Are you getting that point, please? Are you getting that point? If you are free, and you say, I don't like anybody to set any condition. But if your happiness, your freedom depends upon other person not setting any condition, you will be miserable. Because in ignorant, the other person has the freedom to be stupid. As even you have the absolute freedom to live with the stupidity of everybody, ignorance of everybody, the other person has his own right to live under his spell of the ignorance. Therefore, he can set conditions, but it makes no difference to you. Very, very careful. Please know, when do you have a sense of loss? When do you have a sense of loss? If you have taken something to your heart, you have taken something to your mind, you are being possessive at the level of your mind, then only you shall feel deprived. If somebody takes away the seashore land, do you feel deprived? Somebody taking away somebody's bank balance in cyber crime or anywhere crime, they have taken away somebody's money. Do you feel deprived? Your 5 rupees from your little purse, if somebody takes away, you feel deprived. Somebody's 5 million gone, is an exciting story. Oh, it's a heist. 5 million, 5 billion, oh my God, $50 million painting somebody stole. How? You are excited to know about the whole heist. But if somebody takes 5 rupees from your purse, oh, why? That 5 rupees was in your heart. If you have taken something inside, then somebody can take it away from you, snatch it from you, and that will leave behind an emptiness. Because it filled you up. Therefore, if somebody removes it, takes it away, it creates a hollowness, there emptiness there. So by, if something is taken away and you feel deprived, that means you are holding on to it. Your ultimate test is your physical body. These 5 rupees, 10 rupees, today you get angry, tomorrow you forget it. But the ultimate deprivation, denial, danger comes from when the physical body is going to be disintegrated, going to be taken away. Death looms large in front of you. Oh, I don't want to die. Why? Because you are not immortal, you are living. You are living with a body. You have still not discovered the immortality in yourself. Because you were living with a body, now you are afraid that with the death of the body, you shall no more be alive. This relative condition was making you feel comfortable. When you are with yourself, the absolute condition, I am the immortality, as long as the body lives, you live with it. Don't want to die one day early or one day late. If it happens, it happens. Is it only the physical body? 100 times, so many times we have discussed. The death doesn't come only in the form of the body, physical body. It can be death of a relationship. It can be death of a business. It can be death of a contract. It can be death of a faith. It can be death of any kind. If your happiness depends upon comforts around, when the comforts go away, you shall feel unhappy, miserable. When your happiness itself, the absence of comfort and discomfort makes no difference to you. Listen carefully. This is not a philosophy. It's not some type of an idealism to be lived with. Something you must see it for yourself very, very clearly as to who you are. And that is the greatest gift you can give it to yourself. Whether a Diwali gift, Christmas gift, New Year gift. It's not a gift because it's already with you. Are you getting that? Gift means what? Somebody should give it to you, no? Can somebody give you the gift of knowledge? Knowledge cannot be given as a gift. Understand? It's already yours. You wake up to yourself. This is so peculiar a transaction, the whole teaching. Without giving, the person has made you infinity. Without receiving, you have been made infinity. How beautiful. The teacher has not given anything, but you are so fulfilled you can't take anything more. What a thing it is. Huh? I have not given you anything, yet you feel so fulfilled you can't take anything more. And you are feel so fulfilled you can't take anything more. Nobody can give it to you, nobody can take it away from you. That is why you don't attribute any type of sense of achievement or sense of glory that I gave him this knowledge, I gave him satisfaction, I gave him happiness. You cannot give somebody happiness, you can give somebody comfort. Happiness is their nature, understand? Fulfillment is your nature. Immortality is your nature. You can provide somebody a medicine, a little better health, but you can't give immortality. Please see it very, very clearly. Then you don't live in that imaginary world, the dream world, that I am going to make everybody happy. You are not. You can make everybody feel comfortable, but you cannot make anybody feel happy. That is why dreamers are there in this world. The poor man dreams of riches. The poor man dreams of riches. If only I can be a millionaire. If only I can be a billionaire. Then I shall be very happy. And what does the rich man think? He has no material want. What does he want? If only my wife loves me. If only my children respect me. If only my husband cares for me. If only the society respects me. You understand? One is poorer at a material level. One is very poor at a material level. Other is very poor at emotional level. Both are unhappy, miserable. Are you getting that point, please? Both are unhappy and both are miserable. Both are putting conditions. If only I can be rich, I shall be happy. If only my disease is cured, because of the anxiety, suppose if your body is ulcerated, my ulcer is cured, my diabetes is gone, my, something, cholesterol goes away, I'll be so happy. So always everybody is waiting. Whereas happiness is, your being with yourself is unconditional. When you are like that, with everything, you are as much fulfilled, even without anything whatsoever, you are absolutely fulfilled. That is why, yasya antasyat ahankar. So one who, yasya ahankara antasyat. So this is the ahankar, the individuality, which is lost in the realm of comparison. I don't have this, I want to have this, I don't have this, I want to have this. What you don't have, suppose it comes, you are miserable. What you have, if it is lost, you are miserable. So ahankar is the one which makes you terribly miserable. I hope you have seen it clearly. Are you getting that? Please stop looking at others. It's absolutely important that you look at yourself. Stop looking at others. Stop waiting for others' appreciation of you to be great, as I told you. The majesty of Niagara is not diminished because somebody spits at it. The majesty of the ocean is not hit because somebody throws a stone at it. The Himalayan mountain range doesn't get hurt if somebody throws a stone at it. The majesty of Himalayan mountain shall engulf the little stone that is thrown towards it. The spit that you throw towards Niagara, it will be inside the Niagara. Infinity engulfs, swallows up anything that is thrown towards it. Are you getting that point, please? This is the beauty of this knowledge. It doesn't stand apart. It's like putting a bucket of dirty water in the Ganges. It completely takes it away. Every limitation is lost in the lap of limitlessness. You understand? Every limitation is lost, is wiped out in the lap of limitlessness. What is that something which that limitless cannot swallow? What is that something which infinity cannot overwhelm? Nothing stands apart. Ahankara stands apart. Are you getting that? Because of this ahankara, this I thought, this I, the individual, it loses sight of it. Remember, if any moment, listen carefully and think for yourself, please think for yourself. Take a statement and think for yourself until it is effortless for you. It is effortless. But you must know very clearly, if there is any moment of emptiness in your life, if there is a slightest hint of emptiness, disturbance, misery, please know that moment others have not hurt you. The creation has not deprived you of anything. The life has not been unjust. You have lost sight of yourself. Only one thing, you have lost sight of yourself. That is why when you are miserable and you go to sleep, what happens to you? In sleep, what happens? So comfortable. Why? Because the one who has a losing sight of himself is not there to lose sight of himself. That is why deep sleep is so comfortable. In deep sleep, your problems continue. Just because you are sleeping, you don't become millionaire. Just because you are sleeping, it doesn't mean that your disease goes away. It doesn't mean your poverty goes away. No. But the one who was dragging, pulling everything towards itself, that fellow is asleep. So any moment of emptiness, if you are going through that, biting, gnawing, overwhelming sense of emptiness, misery, agitation, restlessness, you have lost sight of yourself. You are unconsciously falling into the stream because the ahankar is there. So that ahankar, yasya antasyat, for whom that has ended, meaning one who has seen the meaning of the word I, one who is the meaning of the word I, your sense of being, for him, yasya antasyat ahankar, okay, just yate antasyat ahankar, for whom the person has not yet understood his reality of himself, known the meaning of the word I for himself, but the ahankara antahasyat is inside. The sense of I thought, the sense of ahankar is existing. Nakaroti karoti sa. Even if he does not do anything, he does. Why? I am not doing anything. Now I am very quiet. That is what the trouble is. Nakaroti karoti sa. You don't hurt anybody. But ahankar tells, I don't hurt anybody, and you will take pride in that. I am fasting on these days. You take pride in that. So it has no meaning. Even if I have not done a wrong thing, that pride that I have never done anything wrong is the greatest pride. You have to grasp it. If somebody doesn't recognize it, you will be devastated. I have not created any problem for anybody. You are very proud of it. Somebody says, you have not created any problem, but you are a lazy, stupid person. Oh, you will explode. This ahankar cannot take that image, I am a lazy, stupid person. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. Unconsciously you can get caught by it. I don't depend on anything for my happiness. Listen, I don't depend on anything for my happiness. A person can say. Suppose somebody asks, if somebody challenges your idea that you don't depend on anything for happiness, why? What is that happiness which can go away if you depend on something? You are finished. Are you getting that point? A person can throw a statement, I don't depend on anything for my happiness. Alright, if you don't depend on anything for your happiness, what is wrong if you depend on something by being happiness? You are happy to depend. You are happy not to depend. No, how can you say that? That's what it is. That is where, for you, a sense of renunciation, deprivation, negation is holier than the person who is being with the object. So you have make it a conditional. That not to depend is the sign of happiness. You can be happily dependent on million things and you are not dependent. Remember the story of Janaka. Living in the palace, living with the royal privileges, yet untouched, unaffected. You remember the story, no? Once a man comes to Janaka and tells him, he is supposed to be a mendicant, renunciate, and he tells Janaka, you are supposed to be a wise man and look at the opulence with which you are living in a palace and all these opulence, prosperity. Then Janaka pretended to be angry and he said, throw this man into prison for his disrespect. But because he is a mendicant, renunciate, never enjoyed anything in life, he shall have everyday lunch with me. And on the seventh day he shall be beheaded. So every day he was given royal lunch, best of the food, best of the comfort, best of the luxuries. And seventh day when he is going to be beheaded, that was the grand lunch. 100 dishes. Raja, 1,000 dishes, why not? Story, how does it matter? And by the time 2 hours, 3 hours of elaborate lunch is over, Janaka asked the person, so how was the food? How are the dishes? Sweet, sour, boiled, not boiled, comfortable, very hot, very mild? The person had no answer. Janaka asked him, did you eat everything? He said, yes. Then how come you are not, why don't you answer me whether it was sweet or not sweet? Then he got so, sort of angry, sort of frustrated. And he said, oh Lord, oh King, what are you asking me? After 1 hour, I am going to be beheaded. Does it matter to me whether it was boiled, not boiled, sweet or not sweet? Does it matter to me? Janaka said, then, does it mean then, even though you are eating these foods, you are not enjoying it? He said, of course not. He said, why? Because my mind is in execution. When my mind is in execution, who is going to enjoy this food? Janaka smiled and said, that is how Venerable says, I live in this palace. My mind is always in myself. Living in this opulence, I don't live in this opulence. It was released. How many people will appreciate it? For people, two different conditions. For some people, austerity is wisdom. For some people, indulgence is wisdom. For somebody, success is the mark of wisdom. For somebody, failure is the mark of wisdom. You cannot mark the wisdom. The wisdom is incomparable, non-negotiable, uncompromising, unconditional. No conditions apply. If you say, how can I sleep when it's continuously raining on me, I can understand. But don't say, how can I be happy if it is continuously raining? You understand the beauty. Please see that, or else you'll be so impractical in life. When I'm so hungry, how can I smile? I cannot appreciate. But you can't say, when I'm so hungry, how can I be happy? Yeah. In being the happiness, you have no choice. In being yourself, which is call it self, call it a happiness, call it fulfillment, call it immortality, call it absolute, call it freedom, call it love, any word you use. You are it under every sarveshu deseshu, sarveshu kalesu, sarvasu avasthasu. At all places, in all times and all conditions, you are who you are. That is why nobody can challenge. You don't feel challenged. People can challenge, but you don't feel challenged. Remember that beautiful example. The majesty of Niagara Falls is not going to be diminished because somebody throws a stone at it. The infinity is not going to be diminished in any way by the finite touch. Just because I am infinite, just because I have a body, that does not take away the fact that I am disembodied, all-pervasive awareness. So then you shall not feel the pinch. Then don't talk nonsense now. The physical body, as long as there is a living nervous system, there shall be pain. No, there are some people who cannot do it. Yes, that can be done also. You can withdraw your mind, or suppose you have got some technique by which you can remove the blood flow there, so you may not be pain. But that will not make you wise. That will make you pain-free, but not happy. That is why these little, miracles or wonders or whatever little something a person can do, that will make him only little, free from little pain or free from something. It is just like being rich. You don't have the inconveniences of the poverty, but you are not a happy person. Somebody is walking on the leg, is not happy. Somebody walking on the head also will not be happy. Okay? You can walk on the head. That's a real achievement. The other day I was watching a program. Oh, you cannot believe, if you look at it, you feel vertigo. Looking at it, you feel vertigo. Can you believe? The person is walking from one side of the Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, down below 1 kilometer or half a kilometer. One rope is going from one end to the other end. The tight rope walker, he is walking on that. Can you walk? For me, forget it. It's just impossible. Looking at him walking, maybe I will faint. How on earth? And then there is a breeze. People are doing it 100 feet. Whether it is 1 kilometer height, you will die, 100 feet also will die. How do they walk? But that's an achievement. So don't say, because I am infinity, therefore I can go through all finite things. No. Those things will need some special technique. But just because the person has been very special technique, he could run 100 meters in 50 seconds. Not 50 seconds, 10 seconds, right? 10, right? Below 10. So just because he does it, that doesn't make him a very happy man. Yes, there will be a stadium full of people roaring, no doubt about it. But the person has to go back and deal with. If he could miss a step, or somebody could not run it, or next time he was taken over. Finished. Finished. That's why it's such a nice thing, they say every dog has a day. For some time, you can rule the roost in a relative things, understand? In a relative field, you can rule the roost for some time. You cannot be the managing director all the time. You cannot be the head of the department all the time. You cannot be the chief minister all the time. Even if they make you lifetime president also, you can have misery at all the time. You can be lifetime president, but you can't enjoy the power all the time. Like a person was asked, the child asked the grandfather, "Granddad, suppose you get this bumper prize, jackpot, $10 million, how will you feel?" He said, "I shall still feel 95-year-old. So practical. Even if I get $10 billion, it's not going to bring back my youth. At any time, a younger person is richer than any old billionaire, right or wrong. He shall, if possible, exchange his billions for his youth, right or wrong. You cannot enjoy the relative achievements for all times to come. You shall rule the roost for some time. Sometimes the people, musicians, how long can they do that? Until the throat. Dancers, how long can they do that? Dancing, that curve of the thing goes out, that their dancers' feet are flat. Flat foot. That curve is not there. Flat. After some time, bone pain here, bone pain in the thing, then sit down and dance. You make others dance. But you can't dance anymore. Whereas this knowledge, Knowledge is not a physical activity. Oh, you cannot speak. Oh, I cannot speak loud because I am young. I can speak loud. When I am 18, 90-year-old, I cannot speak loud. But in that whisper also, wisdom only will come. It's not a competition of 100-meter dash, F1 circuit, power, president, governor, none. That is why, please, long before your physical body is incapable of moving, singing, dancing, jumping, swimming, walking, understand yourself. Long before time snatches your youth, physical body is incapacitated, know about yourself. Because that will not be diminished. Nobody can deny you. There is no retirement from absolute. From relative positions you can be retired. Even if others don't want you to retire, you have to retire. Self-retirement, Others will, sir, you are teaching so nicely, why don't you teach for enough. So you are such a good, administrator, why don't you do that? No, now the time has come to wake up in the morning and nothing to do. Yes. Because by doing something you are feeling happy, now you want not to do something, so you feel comfortable. In self, there is neither doing nor doing. Even while doing, you don't do. That's what he says. When ahankara is there, nakaroti karoti sa. Even if it doesn't do anything, he has a sense of activity, that I am not doing anything. Whereas wise man, nirahankara dhirena nakinchit akrutam krutam. Ahankara, nirahankara dhirena, one who is dhira, the wise one, abiding in himself, nirahankara, and no sense of limited I, individuality, krutamapi na krutam. Even when he does something, he doesn't own up that he is doing it. You see that? Who can understand this? Even while doing it, he is not doing it. But the ignorant person, even when he is not doing it, he is getting the result of it. What a headache. This dimension, anyway, let me not. These verses are so beautiful, you can get stuck on this. It's so, because as I told you, the verses are as incomparable as the truth is. Each verse is incomparable. Na udvignam, the person who sees in himself, is abiding in himself. Na udvignam, no anxiety. Na santushtam, nor is very restful or comfortable, fulfilled. Akartru spanda varjitam. Akartru never does anything. Spanda varjitam. There is no effort for anything whatsoever. There is nothing. Nirasam, no hopes, expectations, dreams, demands, desires of any kind. Gata sandeham. Neither there is any doubt. Is it really working? Will it be like this all the time? Am I really fulfilled? Shall I really remain fulfilled all the time? Is it really true the whole universe is nothing but the one absolute consciousness, reality? Gata sandeham. Muktasya chittam rajate. The mind of the wise man shining in all its glory because revels in himself. No doubt of any kind, no helplessness of any kind, no dreams of any kind, meaning something to be achieved with which I shall be feeling fulfilled. There is no such stuff. How do you just think of a world, Mahadeva, this is a stupid statement I am giving. Why should I think of a world where everybody is like this? Think of a world where you are like that and see the beauty of it. When I am like this, see your world, how beautiful it becomes. Right in the midst of activity, you are inactive. By doing, you don't do. By thinking you don't think. By living you are not alive. By dead you are not dead, non-existent. By dying you don't cease to exist. You continue. In poverty you don't feel impoverished. In riches you don't feel prosperous. Riches doesn't add to your infinite dimension. Poverty doesn't diminish it. People's respect do not make you who you are. The disrespect doesn't deny who you are. Amazing, amazing. How? You are so free. You think of it, so free within yourself, so free within yourself. Which nobody can touch. Goes on. Nirdhyatum. Cheshtitum vapi. Yachittam na pravartate. Muktasya chittam rajate. Shining in its own glory and na pravartate. It doesn't have any wish or any attempt. There is no, listen carefully, there is no whisper. There is no attempt. However slight. To what? I must meditate. I must meditate. Noble lifestyle, right? How to get out of it? I must meditate. That whispering doesn't come. Why? I'm meditation. Who is that one feeling the need to meditate? So when somebody says, you must meditate, you smile. Why? Why? You don't have to smile because the person may feel offended. You must meditate. Yes. What else can you do? Well, he wants to give you some advice and feel very great that you are, he's giving you some very sound advice. Advising people feel great. Being advised, people feel also great. Nirdhyatu. I must meditate. Who is talking? Ahankar. Listen carefully. Even when there is nothing, there is just oneness, pure silence, your awareness, your being is existing. In that the ahankara whispers, I must meditate. It is so empty. Chastitumba, or to be active. Not is simply sitting there, I must do something, I must do something. Do something if something to be done. But don't say by doing something you shall be happier. Yasya chittam na nivartate, whose mind doesn't even whisper this need for a little meditation or activity or inactivity. Nirnimitam idam kintu. Nirnimitam. There is no reason for any of these things. One who remains like that, nirdhyayati vichastate, spontaneously, always in meditation, always activity. Should he do something to breathe? What should he do to breathe? What is your involvement in breathing? Unless I say I am to breathe, I cannot do. Can you? What is your involvement in your breathing? That much involvement in your being. Breathing happens. Comparison is good, but at one time breathing will stop. But the being will not stop. Not breathing, you shall be breathless. But there is no question of telling, not being, I shall be beingless. No. When the breathing stops, who is breathless? The breathing or the ahankar? Who feels breathless? Who is afraid of breathlessness? I don't know what is happening. Who feels the pressure? The blood? Name is blood pressure, but who is pressurized? You feel the pressure. Like a mosquito net. Name is mosquito net, but who is in the net? Name is mosquito net, but the mosquito is not in the fishing net, the fish is inside, right? But mosquito net, mosquito should be inside. But mosquito net, you are inside. Breathless. Jokes apart, friends, but what jokes apart? The whole life is a joke. Everything is a joke. When you know yourself, even the worst disasters of your life is a joke. Nobody can take away that sense of smile, that fulfillment from within. Your mind is an eternal smile that never gets wiped out. Physically you cannot smile. Suppose you are being on your bone, somebody is hitting with a rock. Can you say, oh, very nice, very nice? Can you say, oh, very, very painful, very, very painful? Can you say that? Physically, somebody can make it pained. It will happen, it can happen. You meet with an accident. In that mind, Ishvara, when you are with yourself, in that whisper doesn't come, I must meditate, I must do something, or I should not do something. Listen carefully. To be yourself, you don't need to think, speak, act, or not to speak, not to act, not to think, anything. You are being who you are, unconditional. And being that way, effortlessly activity is taking place. Yada yat kartumayati tat krutva tishtati sukham. Whatever comes in life, you continue to do. Whatever comes, appears, whatever situation comes in life, you function. But at no time you lose sight of yourself. Okay? Now read the next two verses. Tattvam yathartham akarnya manda prapnoti mudhatam athava yati sankocham amudha kopi mudhavat ekagrata nirodho va mudhairabhyasyate bhrusham dhīrākrutyam na pasyanti suptavat swapade sthitā aprayatnāt prayatnāt vā mūಢो nāpnoti nirvritim tattva-niṣśaya-mātreṇa prajño bhavati nirvritah. Each verse is so beautiful, you know. How will you like? Think of it. Suppose, just imagine, really imagine a world where everybody comes and sings your song. You are so nice, you are so wonderful, you are really fine, you are so beautiful, you are so kind, you are so sensitive. Everybody talks to you, everything all the time. How do you like it? And wherever you go, your photos. This thing, wherever you go, your photos, your praise, everywhere written. How do you like it? Huh? Not bad, right? The universe is that. In every form you shine. In every appearance you are there. In every idea you are the content. In every speech or silence, in every activity, inactivity, you are there. Every little something in this creation is your glory, because you are the inevitable content of every finite existence. So wherever you go, only you are there. Wherever you go. When you say wherever you go, who goes? Your body moves in yourself. Your thoughts move in yourself. The creation is existing in yourself. How far the water is from the wave? How far the space is from any form? How far the silence is from any sound? Any sound. How far the consciousness is from any thought, any emotion, any perception, any sensation, any sense object. It's so beautiful, you know that. Why everything enchants you? Yesterday we went to that near, what is that place? Kelambagam. The backwater, birds, hundreds and hundreds of pelicans, so beautiful. The pelicans simply floating, quiet, no noise, nobody is firing at them, nothing. So, oh, only that place is peaceful. What about the highway and the traffic? Physically, one place is heavily rushed and engaged. Physically, another place is isolated, quiet. Mentally, at the level of yourself, you are as quiet in the isolation, that quiet in the crowd. By habit, we shall compare the physical surroundings. By habit. What can I say? Well, that is why people, even after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of listening, still they will complain, this is like that, that is like that. That is how exactly it should be. It is so unconscious behavior that you are comparing that how it should be there, but you are never ever looking at your own mind, which is questioning. Why it should be like that? I question. But why am I questioning? Is it part of me? Have I understood myself? Have you questioned the questioner? But you fall in love with the questioning. The questioner goes scot-free. Understand? The questioner goes scot-free. And when the questioner is questioned and you understand about yourself, even when you question, there is no virulence. There is no aggressiveness. There is no cruelty in it. There is no viciousness in that. Even in your questioning, your challenging, there is a very kind, sensitive touch. You don't do that to score a point. Me superior, somebody is inferior. You just do it because it is to be done. Finish. Nothing more than that. Always stable inside yourself as you are. But changing things around, trying to change things around, if it can be done. that sense of fulfillment. Unconsciously, if you, please understand, unconsciously, if you jump into that, only if this man talks like that, see this woman behaves like that, husband treats like that, wife treats like that, child is like that, brother is like that, government is like that, climate is like this, then only it will be nice. Hey, you are putting million conditions. You understand? Who shall make you miserable? Who can make you happy? If you put your conditions, if you imprison yourself, how am I going to set you free? Tell me. If you make yourself a prisoner of your own thought, prisoner of your own conditionings, who can make you free? It is only a frustration. That's what he is talking about. Tattvam yathartham akarnya. Listen carefully. It's an amazing statement. Nobel Prize statement. How many prizes, Nobel Prizes you can give? No, what Nobel Prize? It's all right for relative world. What is the Nobel Prize? The fellow who created dynamite, discovered the dynamite, destroyed the whole world, made a lot of money, but he's giving for the Peace Prize. Very nice. Very good. Not that he should not have discovered dynamite. It is good. He discovered that also. It has a place. A dynamite is, if you misuse to kill somebody, that is their problem. But suppose you have to make a road, a railroad, and you have to put dynamite, you need that, no? So, anyway, that is not the point. These verses are invaluable. You can't give a prize to the absolute, can you? The absolute itself is the prize of everybody, no? Oh, he is Mr. Universe, or is Miss Universe, or is Olympic gold medalist, or is Nobel laureate, but he was found doping, gold medal withdrawn. Naturally, gold medal is relative word, gold medal withdrawn. Position denied, Nobel Prize taken away. Why? Because somebody has copied somebody else's paper, therefore he got it. Denied. Or there are also great authors and poets and all these achievers. They say, I don't want this Nobel Prize, which the other person is getting it, why should it has no value. They also don't, for them it doesn't mean anything, because they are by themselves feeling so much more prestigious. They are the prize gets the recognition, not them. They adore the prize. The prize gets more respected because such a person has been given. Not because of the prize I am so respected. No, I am. You understand that point? So one day the person does something, Miss Universe, but he found out something somewhere, so no, that crown is taken away. In the self-knowledge absolute, once you are crowned forever. It cannot be taken away. Now he is old, therefore he can't be infinity. Shut up. He sneezed, therefore he cannot be. You are Brahman. Oh, he is fighting a battle and so many people are destroyed. Brahman. Did not fight anything, he sat under a tree when the whole world was fighting. Brahman. Absolute. Nobody can take it away from you. Why? Because nobody has given it to you to take it away from you. If you give it to me, you can de-recognize. As a father, you have given me this house. Now you are angry? No, I deprive this fellow of this house. The government gives a job, then you deprive the fellow of a job. But who I am, you have not given it to me. Did you give me my sense of being? Who gives us the sense of being? To be taken away. Amazing, amazing. That is why there is no sense of fear. What the people will say, what the society will do. Hey, shut up. You be yourself. And whether you are yourself or not, nobody will know. If you are a speaker, only talking, but every time feel heat, useless. You don't speak a word. It's like space, silently allowing trillions of stars suspended in its vastness. The silence that shelters trillions of sounds. Yourself, the awareness, suspends, in which the whole gross, subtle, causal, macrocosmic universe suspended. When I say macrocosmic universe, it's finished in 1 second. Macrocosmic universe, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds is over. Think of macrocosmic universe. Everything is suspended. Therefore, nobody can take it away from you. But if you put yourself in a prison of your own limitation, you refuse to get away, what can anybody do? As Bhagavan says, Prakriti myanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Hey Arjuna, everybody follows their own Prakriti. They don't want to get out of it. Mama nigraha kim karishyati. What can I do? Even God gives up. And the day you choose to be happy, nobody can deny you that. Are you getting that? The day you choose, I am who I am, nobody can take you away from. That is not something can be taken away. Your sense of being, your fulfillment, your love, your respect, your dignity, nobody can take away. But if you have decided to be miserable, nobody can help you. Very difficult. So he says, Tattvam yathartham akarnya mandam prapnoti mudhatam. Sweetest is like Diwali sweet. Mandaha means what? Dull-witted, half-brain, fried brains, stupid, the fellows who have not much of thinking. There is not much of thinking. Manda, very dull. Tattvam yathartham akarnya. Akarnya, having listened to Tattvam, the truth, yathartham, as it should be. The teaching is fantastic, scripture is fantastic, teaching is beautiful. Akarnya, mudadam prapnoti. The fellow gets confused. The ignorant person, manda, becomes dull-witted, lust in the idea that I am the body, I am this thing, and I want money, I don't want this money, I want power, I want position, and that is the ultimate thing in life. This is how the person is conditioned. So when he listens to the truth, mudatam yati, gets confused. How can I be happy with nothing? How can I be happy with myself? What I have is more important than who I am. Of course, what I have is more important than who I am. Because people make me feel very important when I have riches. If I have no money, I will be useless. Therefore, I should have money. To that fellow, what can you talk? Why? There are verses also. Sarve guna kanchanam asrayante. There are verses for every kind, no? Sarve guna kanchanam asrayante. All the gunas, if wherever there is money, saeva darshaniya, sa gunagya, sa, he is the one who is all achievement, all success. He is the only one to be seen. Why? Sarve guna kanchanam asrayante. If you have gold, you have riches. So, I should make me riches, But in the same Niti Shastra, there are so many other verses which tells you that you better be aware of yourself. That is very conveniently forgotten. Like people quoting scriptures, little information in this truth, yan manasana manute, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa. The fellow will quote, this subject is very difficult, the mind cannot comprehend it, wherefrom the mind returns along with the words. How can you say it is easy? The same Shastra says, what is that? Manasa eva anudrashtabhyam. Same script, same Upanishads. Manasa eva anudrashtabhyam. By mind alone you have to see it. What about that line? When he says mind cannot grasp it, it is like telling, I can challenge you, you can never reach the space. Why? Yeah, I already reached it. Only I can challenge you, you cannot reach the space, you know. Oh, no, what is that? I can reach anywhere. I have a rocket, spacecraft. I can reach anywhere, but you can't reach space. What are you talking? Okay, reach it. Boom. Go where? You can't travel because you are already in space. Like a child caught me. I was in Pondicherry for a program, and one 4-year-old, he came to the classes, he enjoyed all the joke. And he'll come and say, Uncle, some more joke. Very sweet. Lovely fellow. Anyway, now he must have been a big boy. Now hey, can I ask a riddle? I said, yes. Can you jump higher than this building? We are staying in their house, gone for a lunch. Then he's asking me, can you jump higher than this building? I said, of course not. But he says, I can. That 4-year-old fellow said, you know. But I can. I knew there must be some trick in that. Something. But anyway, I happily gave up. I said, okay, give up, tell me. Okay, jump. And the baby jumped. You know, just 1 foot. On a small 4-year-old fellow, no? Jump. I said, so, you didn't go higher than the building? He said, no, the building cannot jump. So, building cannot jump. So, he has jumped higher than the building. Start, right? You can never reach the space. You can never know the Brahman, the Absolute. Already know. No mind can reach it, already reached. No words can describe it, already described. No words can reach it, already reached. When the scriptures, the teacher, the wise man wants to make it easier and easier and easier, Mudo, Mandaha, Prapnoti, Mudadam, he wants to make it more and more difficult so that he has a sense of achievement. So difficult, only few people can gain it, really. If everybody has it, it's not very exclusive. Like the Japanese. One Japanese community, they are tea lovers. It's a story, they say. Very good, nice tea lovers. They shall make different types of teas they will make. So there is one group of people, very rich, they will sitting down every weekend, they will make exclusive variety of tea, very high quality, tea ceremony. Many days gone, then one day the oldest man and the richest man also there, the old man, very experienced, he made a very nice tea. And then gave it to everybody. And then everybody was so taken up by that. Hey, this is the best tea ever you can make. What is the recipe? Think, what is the recipe? He said, this is the tea plantation people drink. The workers, the farmers, they take it, the simple thing, put it in the thing, pure decoction. Because the rich people have forgotten the taste of the tea by always adding something, trying to make it exotic, the original taste is gone. How many of you really have tasted bitter gourd as it is? How many of you have tasted the, Vandaka, lady's finger as it is? How many of you have tasted that, reed gourd, pirkanga as it is? Brinjal as it is? No, always it comes in spice, Italian spice, Thai spice, Indian spice, Chinese spice, same vegetable. Brinjal is, Chinese brinjal and Indian brinjal and or Italian brinjal. Brinjal is same, but spices are varied, so much so who can make the most exotic? So the person who brings the original one with that flavor becomes suddenly very exotic. So we are always living with not the original sense of being who we are, but spiced. I am the richest man, a richer man, I am the young man, I am a, achiever, successful. The original flavor is lost sight of. Which one is difficult? Spiced vegetable, to make a spiced vegetable, or the vegetable as it is? To make it spiced, you have to go for spices. To have a role is like collecting spice, and depends upon which society you are in. Some society, they like it Thai food, some Indian food, some Chinese food, like that. In some society, shaving of the head is best, so that is the mark of beauty. Some society, fatter you are, the better it is, like the Samoans. Samoan, New Zealanders, the big fellows you must be big. The big is beautiful. Go to African tribe, these Masai Mara people, the Masai tribes, every fellow is 6 feet 6. The girls also 7 feet, 6 feet 2, like that. Longer the neck, better it is. So mala, they put that neck, that bracelet, like, and they make that thing longer. Suppose you look at it, first you say, hey, what type of... They look at you and say, what type of neck is so small? Which one is good? Same thing religion. The truth is lost sight of, spices are popularized. I am not telling you, it will come next line, you will be amazed. So Mudaha, the fool, the person who doesn't have much thinking, lost in various conditions, doesn't come to the teacher to know who he is, but wants to pick up some new informations. The teacher is incapable of revealing the truth as the other person is, but gives him new practices, a new name, a new idea, a new thought. So the person becomes exclusive disciples of exclusive teachers, of an exclusive religion, an exclusive cult. You can do that, sir, for your personal satisfaction. But at one time, you shall be disappointed in life, because it's useless. Whereas, athavayadi sankojam amudha kopi mudavata. So the person who is dull, mandaha, not very sharp, listening to it, he gets more confused. Listen to the absolute truth as it is, he gets more confused. Whereas, it's not that the teacher confuses. Confused mind gets more confused. Whereas amudaha, the person who is discriminative, sharp, smart, intelligent, sankocham yati mudavat. The person who sees this, amudaha, sees this reality, withdraws unto himself, mudavat, like as though he doesn't know anything. What was I doing so long talking? Thinking what thought is needed, what practice is needed, what speech is needed, what books are needed, what information is needed. Nothing. Like mudavat. Mudavat means as though like an idiot. There's no more unnecessary engagement with words, thoughts, descriptions, arguments, logic, fighting, negating, dismissing, accepting, making it holy or unholy, religious, non-religious, none of this stuff. No more classification, compartmentalization, divisions of any kind. Everything is beautiful, everything is useless. Amudaha mudavat pashyati. Amudaha. It becomes totally free from any confusion. Therefore, mudavat. If you ask something, what is there to talk? Mudavat. That is why you cannot know the person. He chooses not to engage in activity, engage in discussion. What is there to talk? Let them talk. It's nice. Ekagrata nirodhova mudhai abhyasate bhrujam. This language will make millions of religious people commit suicide. Ekagrata nirodhova mudhai abhyasate bhrujam. This abhyasa, these practices, mudhai, mudha means the deluded ones who is not being aware of himself, not capable of being with himself, abhyasate bhrujam, continuously doing this practice of what? Ekagrata, one-pointedness, concentration, meditation, worship, chanting, singing, dancing in the name of religion, doing this, digging a hole and sitting down, going to an isolation, sitting in a cave, or moving around. So these are all useless things. Alternatively, ekagrata, nirodhova or nirodha, no thought, no activity, renunciation, nothing else. Not only he should not do it, nobody else also must do it. That is the worst part. That I am a vegetarian is not enough. Everybody else also must be vegetarian. That I don't garlic is not enough. Everybody also must not eat. That I am confused is not enough. That everybody else also must be confused. How nice, eh? I am meditating 6 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Ask the people, who is feeding you? Who is cultivating rice for you? Who is cooking food for you? Meditating is not a job. Listen carefully. Meditation is not a job. Swimming is a job. Walking is a job. Sitting down is a job. Getting up is a job. Lying down is a job. Jumping is a job. Being a body, is it a physical activity? Physic is not a physical activity. Body is not a bodily activity. Body. Whether you lie down, sleep, get up, dance, do in the scorpion posture, the most difficult twist of the body, climb a mountain. These are all physical activity. Body is not a posture, there is a physical posture. Physic, your body is not a posture. So sitting on a posture is not to make you wise, or you cannot sit in a posture, therefore doesn't make you ignorant. We are interested not in your body, but tell you who you are. As even physical body is not a physical activity, meditation, your being is not a mental activity. Do you appreciate? Your being who you are is not a mental activity or inactivity. If you are mentally inactive, you will be stupid. You will be mentally active without being aware of yourself, you will be confused, agitated, restless. But if you are aware of yourself, you can choose to be mentally active, creative. You can choose to be mentally restful, even that is creativity. Why? Because you are giving it a rest to be more efficiently active. So being yourself, you are engaging in physical activity so that you can be productive in the physical world, or you can choose to be physically inactive. Why? So that the body gets enough rest to be more efficient later time. So activity of the body or inactivity of it is not sign of wisdom. The activity of the mind or the inactivity of it is not a sign of wisdom. You be wise. How nice. Bhrusham abhyasate mudei bhrusham. Mudei, by deluded people, people who don't understand. Either they don't understand or they are not made to understand. The teaching is confusing, students confused. The tradition is confusing, the followers are confused. So, abhyasate bhrusham, continuously going on practicing ekagrata, nirodha, one-pointedness, suspending activities or indulge in activity. Some people say, meditation is close your eyes. Some people say open your eyes. No one understand. Being in meditation doesn't depend on your eyes closed or eyes open. This thought or no thought, this thought or that thought, no conditions apply. But the person takes pleasure and pride in a practice. As long as you do it, you feel very pleased and proud. Slowly one day it has dropped out, you never tell it to anybody. You are tired of it, you don't tell it to anybody. Then pick up a new one. No. Knowing which, reaching where, as though reaching where, knowing which, there is nothing else remains to be known, nothing else remains to be gained, nowhere else remains to be reached. Everything is already reached, known, gained. That is yourself, happiness. Dhiraha krutyam na pashyanti, suptavat swapade sthita. When the ignorant is busy doing so many different practices, activities in order to be himself, dhiraha krutyam na pashyanti, the wise one who is aware of himself, na pashyanti na kinchit krutyam, there is nothing to be done. They don't see anything to be done or not to be done to be themselves. I mean, I don't know what to tell. I hope you grasp it. Absolute freedom, absolute revelry. Krutyam na pashyanti. There is nothing to be done. I must do these things to be myself, or I must not do something to be myself. No such stuff. I do it because activity. If I don't do it because not necessary to do it. Therefore, there is no such thing which you cannot stop doing. There is no such thing which you cannot do. You choose not to do is a different thing. You choose not to do, or you choose to do. How do you know whether somebody is choosing or not by looking at the action? Can you? Can you think? By looking at somebody's action, can you know whether he is choosing or not choosing? You are a compulsive liar or you are choosing to lie? Who will you know? Are you a compulsive speaker or choosing to speak? Who shall know? You are a compulsive eater or you are choosing to eat? Who shall know? You are an addicted gambler, or you are choosing to gamble, like for Diwali, you are playing for a game. Who will know? You are addicted to depend on a relationship or you are choosing to relate. Who will know? Only you. That is why people cannot make it out. Dhira krutyam na pashyanti. For the wise person, there is no such thing. Restrictions disappear. That is why so beautiful. Nistraigunyo pathivicharatam ko vidhi ko nisheda. One who walks this path of absolute knowledge, meaning who is always revealing himself. For him, no vidhi, no nishedha. What is to be done, not to be done. Do's and don'ts. Don't apply. Do's and don'ts apply for in the relative world. You have to have that. You can't say, if he was a wise man, therefore I can kill anybody I like. Don't say that. No wise man will say that. Only you argue that way. Wise men don't argue. If they do, they do. They don't do, they don't do. You be the wise one and see whether any action, listen, whether an action anyway diminishes your infinite dimension. Does it add to your infinity? Or in inactivity, does it add or diminish your infinity dimension? Nothing adds to yourself. Nothing takes away anything from yourself. Suptavat swapade sthita. Suptavat. Like a sleeping person who is already dwelling in himself, but unconsciously. Here suptavat, like a sleeping person, but is wide awake. Sleepy because the sleeping person is sleeping, not aware of anything. Here is also like a sleeping person, but is aware of everything. There is no compulsion in life. Therefore, think of this world today, how many different types of practices, how many different types of activities in the name of enlightenment. In the name of social progress, you must have activity. In the name of education, sports, painting, art, culture, prosperity, agriculture, science, you must have all the activities in the world. For the sake of happiness, being yourself, you don't need. No activity is needed. Like to reach a point in space, you are trying to reach Mars. You are trying to reach the outer space, outside the solar system. What all things to be done to reach space? Simple things do not need effort. That's the beauty of it. Simple things do not need any effort. Already done, like that best tea. Like breathing. Breathing stops, now every other physical activity stops. However exotic or however obnoxious. Physical activity, are you getting that? Any physical activity, however exotic, noble or obnoxious, everything will be meaningless when the breathing stops. How much importance you are giving to breathing? It continues. What is that physical activity or mental activity, inactivity of the body or the mind, shall create the awareness? Effortless, always with yourself, who you are. Nobody can take it. Mahadeva, see that, see that. Always you revel in yourself. Then choose to act or not to act. That's your choice. No compulsion. Only you shall know. Nobody else can ever know it. That is why your sense of self-respect, dignity, fulfillment doesn't get affected by other person's non-recognition. You don't need a certificate from somebody to say you are a wise man. Nor you get affected if somebody says you are ignorant and stupid. It doesn't matter at all. Okay, now read the next one. Very beautiful. So, we have already read that verse, no? Aprayatnat prayatnat va. Mudho napnoti nivrutim. I know. These verses are so sweet, you can't even beat it. Muda, the person who is ignorant, doesn't know how to be with himself, and also follows a tradition where none of these things are talked about, following a teaching which none of these things were talked about. These people, Mahadeva, what happens? Prayatnadva, aprayatnadva. Mudahana nibrutim apnoti. Whether they put forth effort, any amount of effort, or no effort, both way they shall be confused. They shall not be liberated. They are not liberated. Why? Because the person remains, listen carefully, the individuality remains very active in activity or in not doing something, in practicing something or not practicing something. So alternately the fellow feels comfortable. Now did something, therefore he thinks there is a purpose in my life, very engaged. Bored, tired, goes to inactivity, then he thinks it is all useless. Then everything given up will be nice. So gives up for some time. This is not. Again goes into activity. Different types of practices. Aprayatnat, he puts forth effort, he is finished. Doesn't put forth effort, also is finished. Nivritina apnoti, never gains freedom, the absolute. Why? Because freedom is not the product of your activity or inactivity. The freedom, the absolute, the immortality, who you are, the happiness that you are, is not the product of your achievement or failure, your activity or inactivity. You are breathing in this way or that way. You are sitting in a particular posture or not sitting in a particular posture. You are chanting in a particular way or not chanting in a particular way. You are singing a particular language or not knowing a language. Eating a particular food or not eating a particular food. Looking at a particular direction or not look at a particular direction. Who you are is not an activity or inactivity. So which one activity you should follow to be yourself? And what is the type of inactivity you must choose to be yourself? Ishvara. Whereas prajna, one who is wise person, the person who knows what? Tattva nishchaya matrena. Tattva nishchaya matrena. Tattva nishchaya matrena. Just by knowing for sure as to what the truth is, as to who he is, that much. Nivruta bhavati prajna. The wise person is liberated. He becomes wise, he is liberated. Because just he knows who he is and not what he is doing or not doing. Wow. Just know, you understand? Just being who he is and not what he is doing or not doing. Not by what he is speaking or not speaking. Wow, you understand the range? Doing means like X. Activities a million kinds or their absence. Practices a million kinds or their absence. Faiths of any kind or their absence. The scripture, the teacher, the wise one, is interested in telling you who you are, not in what you do. You be who you are and you choose to do something and take the consequences. I am very happy with myself, but I want to climb a mountain. Climb. Oh, but there is a landslide, I broke my leg. That comes with the climbing the mountain. Take it. No, I don't want to climb. I am very happy with myself. I want to sit down at home. You can't see Everest. You can't see Kanchenjunga. You can't see Himalayas. You can't see Alps. That comes with inactivity. I know. I am not interested. Finish. Oh, I know myself. I want to teach everybody. But when you teach everybody, there will be many people who will not understand, and they shall hold you responsible for not understanding. What shall I say? Professional hazard. If I choose to teach and share, I have to be ready for both. Some people giving credit for me, which is meaningless. Some people giving discredit also, which is meaningless. Both are fine. That's why I don't want to teach anybody. I am happy, I am with myself. But then, you are not going to benefit anybody. That's not my job. Before my coming, there are billions of people. They manage themselves. I am not going to do that. Fine. Which one is right? Huh? Which one is right? Who is right? Oh. You know, this enormity of freedom. Tadrusha taneva janam, as we saw it earlier. Only such people will understand such people. Others cannot. For many people, certain actions are taboo, some inaction is taboo. Some speeches are taboo, certain speeches are not taboo. Certain thoughts are like this, certain ideas are taboo, certain books, certain faiths, certain beliefs, they divide. That is why there is a Hindi, they say, Deske Fang Nahi Ke Bank, meaning every river has a curve, every country has a culture. In your culture, something is very nice, other cultures don't accept it. In other culture, something is very nice, another culture doesn't like it. The rivers will have turns. There is no river which is a straight river, there is no such stuff. So people will have different types of conditionings. Confused, like you totally born up in a different culture, you come to this country. You totally feel confused. And these people go there, they feel totally confused. Because it's like, I am used to left side of the road, I go there to the country where the right side of the road is right, confused. The person comes from the right side and he has to drive in the left side. He is confused. Who is right? Suicide. Neither left side nor right side, but suicide, middle of it, right? Understand. So you don't come to find a justification, a confirmation to your conditionings, but to see the truth as it is. Tattva nischaya matrena, just by determining the meaning of the word I, tattva, the truth of what? Truth of the self, I. Even if you know the truth of water is hydrogen and oxygen, you don't know the truth of yourself. Even if you know the truth that there is a gravity which is holding everybody, still you don't know the truth of yourself. Even if you know there is a particular herb or a chemical which can cure a disease, you still don't know the truth of yourself. Even if you know how to sing, making 1,000 different ways, intonations by your little throat, you know the subtlety of the voices, but don't know the truth of yourself. Even if you know how to go against the gravity and send a spacecraft to the interspace, outer space, still you don't know the truth of yourself. Even if you imagine there is a life after death, there is a God sitting down somewhere, still you don't know the truth of yourself. You understand the point? That is why all your imaginations, realities, perceptions, and perceptions generated conclusions, thought-oriented conclusions will have absolutely no meaning when you want to know about yourself. Because who you are is not born out of any physical activity, intellectual logic, or emotional maturity or immaturity. You are not the product of a physical activity, mental activity, intellectual activity, or so-called spiritual activity. Activities are activities, they're done at the different levels. Who you are is not a physical entity, not an emotional, intellectual, spiritual entity. Spiritual entity in a sense, this faith, that faith. I'm talking about this religion, that religion. You are not a religious entity. Understand? Does it not make it easier? Why? Because to be me, I don't have to do anything. Whoa! The man who strikes, one who is matured for him strikes, whoa, fantastic. I don't do anything, no thought, nothing. Wow, fabulous. The one who is ahankara, to be yourself, you don't have to do anything. Then what am I supposed to do? The fellow feels challenged. He is really mentally challenged, intellectually challenged, spiritually challenged. Worse than the physically challenged person. Then what shall I do? I am telling you, to be yourself, you can't do anything. And you are asking, then what shall I do? How smart, how intelligent. Oof. To be the self, you cannot do or cannot not do anything. No thought is required. Even then the I who is thus completely now fallen in the battleground of logic, almost dying, still shall say, then the last gasp, then why are you still holding on to that? Then, there is no then in infinity. Then comes in time, not in timeless. Nivrittamyadi. Okay? Such a person, we shall see tomorrow. Please, just read the verse. We shall see. Amazing. Shuddham buddham priyam purnam nisprapancham niramayam atmanam tam na jananti tatra vihasa parajanaha. This is a solid million-ton hydrogen bomb. Wait for tomorrow. Okay? You love to be demolished. You want to make a chutney. And even if you want to whisper, wait. Wait for what? Demolition, not for wisdom. Okay? Wisdom already there. See that. Close your eyes.